I really just want to pick your brain on what happened with Brian Kelly at LSU, and I give you the floor on filling in why he got bounced this past weekend.
Ultimately, he failed to meet expectations. Have you ever heard that in a firing?
Yes.
But mostly, he not only lost his locker room, but he lost the entire fan base. And it went so quickly and so dramatically. I mean, they were actually ahead in that game in the second quarter. The third and fourth quarters were against Texas A&M, the number 3 team in the country, were a complete and total disaster. And when the fans start cheering fire Kelly in the fourth quarter instead of cheering for your team, I think a lot of people took note, namely the governor of Louisiana. Now, Rich, don't be shocked when I tell you that politics and football mix pretty widely
Right.
in the South. The governor put out a tweet after the game saying, "I don't know why the board of trustees decided to raise ticket prices after watching this game," and that set off a snowball that ended up with Kelly being fired. They're still negotiating his $54 million buyout.
Well, can you explain to folks why buyouts for him, James Franklin, others that I'm sure we're not talking about because the coaches aren't in danger of being fired or threatening to leave? Why are buyouts so massively, absurdly large?
That's
Paul?
easy to answer. There's the 3 biggest buyouts in history were Jimbo Fisher at 76 million, Texas A&M, Franklin, and Brian Kelly. I'm not trying to turn this into a Final Jeopardy question, but who is Jimmy Sexton is the answer to the question, the agent of all 3. Jimmy Sexton is this agent that started his business with one client, Reggie White. When he was a manager at the University of Tennessee in the 80s, he moved to Memphis and developed as close to a monopoly, not only pro football coaches, but college coaches, assistant coaches. And these ADs just get taken every time he walks into their office with another client. And right now, he also represents Lane Kiffin. So he's negotiating with Ole Miss about a new extension for Kiffin, even though he just got one, while he shops Kiffin around at Florida and LSU and literally any other school that has an opening.
So let me just take that and put a pin in what you just mentioned about Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. Paul Finebaum here on the Rich Eisen Show. An agent is obviously as talented as Jimmy Sexton is one thing, but you have to have a willing partner to say, absolutely, let's put that figure in a contract. Why do programs agree to that, Paul?
Well, because you have athletic directors who are good stewards of their program. They go to the volleyball games, they go to the basketball games, but they're no match for a guy who is employed by CAA, one of the biggest talent agencies in the world, and who is basically saying, if you don't sign my guy to this deal, I'm taking him somewhere else. And that AD who looks down at his phone every 5 seconds to make sure what people are saying about him on social media says, okay, I can get that done. Just like a week ago, Rich, in the Big Ten, you saw Curt Cignetti get this $94 million deal. Now, most reasonable people think, okay, he's done an amazing job, but 3 or 4 years from now, just for the sake of argument, if things don't go well at Indiana, they're going to have to buy him out. But at the moment that these coaches get the deals, everybody is in favor of it. So they agree to ridiculous buyouts. And then where you get the buyouts to even go up higher is when you get the extension, when your guy may be going to Penn State or in this case LSU, and the agent, who is always Jimmy Sexton, walks in. And let me correct myself. I actually included Kelly as a Jimmy Sexton client. He is not. He's actually a Trace Armstrong client. So I know I misspoke there. But the reason why I bring up Sexton is that Sexton started this chain of events with Jimbo Fisher. So I'm glad I could, before Jimmy Sexton and Trace Armstrong start calling you and saying I've misrepresented them.
No, I know Trace. Trey used to be my agent when I was with CAA back in the day. I love Trace. He's one of the smartest guys in the business, to say the least. And I think he represents what feels to me whenever I'm around him, everyone else in college football and also professional football at the coaching level. What do you think about Brian Kelly's future? One of my favorite posts was somebody putting Kelly's face over a surfer dude saying, this is what Kelly would sound like if he went to UCLA. You know, like that was one of my favorite posts I've seen over the last couple of days. But what do you think is his future? Because you just plug him in one of these other spots, or the buyout conversations going on right now might preclude that, Paul?
Yeah, so Rich, when you get fired, usually your big name, which he is, you have two choices. You take another job, probably a lesser job, or you go into television. Now, you tell me. You've been in television a long time. Can you see Brian Kelly in television? I can't. I think it would be a bad mix. So I think now that he's going to get that buyout, he would probably consider another job. And I say this, I know Brian Kelly very well. He used to, until this week, he did our show every Monday. It was a regular gig. He's a smart guy. He's analytical. He just went to the wrong place, and he went there after when he was at Notre Dame. He said, "I'm leaving Notre Dame to go to Baton Rouge to win a national championship." He never got close, and Notre Dame came very close last year.
Yeah. So I guess to finish up, what do you think is the most attractive gig? Is it LSU? And if so, then what do you think is second best, Paul?
Yeah, I think right now with the openings, and there'll be more this weekend. I can promise you that.
I think so, huh?
Yeah, it's LSU. The history there, the tradition. I mean, 3 coaches in a row won national championships. Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Orgeron. The last 2 I mentioned are not going to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. So you can win there. Florida is a sleeping giant. They've had 2 great coaches, Spurrier and Urban Meyer, and the last 4 coaches have been fired there. So the expectations there are not nearly as high as Baton Rouge. I think it's LSU, Florida, and Penn State right now in that order.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.